Hi, gang. Welcome to Sketching with Izzy. We're going to be doing some more cybertastic goodness today. It'll be a shorter session, I reckon. I've got pressing work. But, you got to make time. Keep the community alive. How y'all doing today? Hopefully you can hear me all right. I'm not crushing you by being super loud because my mic is in my mouth. Sorry. I'm going to put it a little further away. Big Meat, Cypher, welcome. Good to see you all on today. In quasi-related news, I've been looking at this magma thing a little bit more. I think we'll probably be ready to do a session tomorrow. Thursday. The next get-together. If you were with me last night, you'll know that we were just rendering up one of my cyberpunk sketches, and we started out, the sketch was originally a pretty skinny character. And Ermagerd paid for an art direction spin on the wheel of art direction and completely shit all over the direction. So now we are doing a chonkier dude, a little bit more thickness. I don't know how far we'll go on this. It was just kind of a fun sketch to play with, just to see what I could pop up with. If y'all have questions or interesting things you want to discuss, that's why we're here. So lean on in, speak up. We'll see how long I'll go on this. I might abandon it. I'm not loving it. So basically, that's the real deal here. I just don't love it yet. But you never know. Sometimes these pieces can they can cross into that territory, you know. Originally, you were just getting started. It's a little bit of a friend zone. And then one day, you both have a little too many appletinis, and something kooky happens, you know? And suddenly there you are. You're just loving this piece. These things happen. Stranger things. What, you don't know what an appletini tastes like? It tastes like heaven. It doesn't. I really don't like them. I have had a chocolate martini that was quite good. But I just like martinis on their own, you know? I like them dirty. Real dirty. I'm a big fan of the olives. I had one once that had I don't know, some kind of meat in the olives. That was weird. That was a real weird thing. What are your favorite alcoholic beverages if you are of age and can discuss such things? My current drink I've been trying out. So, I've given up. I'm basically doing keto, so that really limits cocktails for me. And I can't do beer at all, and I was totally a beer nut before. But what I'm getting into now is just different hard liquors with soda. So the one I'm trying at the moment is Blackstrap rum with just plain seltzer water. It's interesting. I kind of like it. Surge Hex, welcome. Thank you very much. It sounds awful, not the dirty part. The chocolatini? What? The chocolatini was great. It wasn't overly sweet. It was I don't know. It kind of had how would I describe it? It was like a really dry hot chocolate. I don't know. I'm not selling it. There's a store here in Washington that sells chocolate vodka candy. Oh my god. You like Martinelli's apple cider? Martinelli's is great. Can always dump some vodka in there, you know. I like whiskey too. I'm also very much into kind of your straight amber alcohol. Whiskey, scotch. Oh my god. I love scotch. I'm you know, being a pirate, living on a boat, I really got into rum. It just happened on its own. I didn't force it. I don't like tequila too much. Not for me, which is hilarious. There is offshoots of tequila, though. There's this stuff called raicilla. It's kind of mezcal. It has really good flavors. It's kind of like tequila and scotch got it on in the back of an Airstream on, you know, a meth-fueled binge and had a baby. And that is raicilla. It's fantastic. And mezcal. A little smoky, little tequila-y. That I like. That's pretty good. It's dangerous, though. That should mess you up. Elijah Craig and Jameson are the faves. Not bad. I like Jameson a lot. I can't say I've had Craig. Cask and Crew Walnut Toffee Whiskey. That sounds rough. Oh my god. Oh no, okay, we'll stop talking about the booze. Yeah. It's good stuff. It has its place. Place and time. I am addicted to toffee. Actually, it's one of my favorite candies in the whole damn world. When I discovered, what are they called? Heath bars? Heath bars ruined me because it was like that cheap, shitty chocolate plus toffee and easily accessible. It was everywhere. So once I discovered Heath bars, it was over. I just have them with everything. I'm a fan of some really weird candies that I know a lot of people hate. So one that I love that I know people just despise in general is marzipan. I really love marzipan. I know. You can all just vomit in your garbage cans right now. Pete, welcome. Long time, brother. Yeah, and marzipan, and the other one that I know that is highly unpopular is true, like, dyed-in-the-wool black licorice, man. That stuff's good. They should make that into a liqueur. Oh, no, they do! And it's amazing. Ouzo. What's that other stuff? Sambuca. I like Jägermeister, too, you know. But, yeah, black licorice for days, gang. I am definitely a black licorice man. Makes me happy because nobody else wants it. Got any other licorice lovers in here? Is it really just me? Klondike has a Heath version? God damn. I tell you, some days doing keto is tough. It's tough. I had a moment earlier today. I went and cast my ballot, which felt great. It was like a grand release. Yeah, I cast my ballot today, and while I was out, I was with my adoptive mom, and we stopped for coffee at a little bakery that was near the library where we cast the ballots. And I picked up, we bought coffee and a loaf of bread. And it was the first time since I've been on keto where I was holding this loaf of bread and I was like, damn. I really, really want this bread. So yeah, that happened. That was a weird moment. That happened in public. Oh, I hate this arm. What have I done? Twizzlers? Oh, hell no. None of you. Yeah, I'm with Cypher on this one. You are on your own. Surge, you like black licorice too? That's the way. Mm-hmm. Keto? Oh no. You're lactose intolerant. Yeah. Cheese is a big part. I mean, you can do it without cheese. I just find it's easier with, if not cheeses, sorry, but cream-based products. Like all my coffee has heavy cream in it and stuff like that. But you have to have, I mean, keto is all about really high fat content stuff rather than carbs and sugars. So you got to find a way to get the fats. Otherwise, it doesn't work. It's interesting. I want them to be like bulky, but see, so there's kind of a disconnect here that's happening in my head in terms of the design of the character. So it's entirely possible to have bulky shoulders with a big, big, strong, meaty deltoids. The problem is that this guy doesn't have anything to lift. So his shoulders don't quite make that much sense. And I'm sure there's somebody out there that is an amputee, a W amputee at least, that has, shoulders that prove me wrong. It just feels wrong to me for some reason. I don't know. Y'all can get online and start searching for that. Enjoy that search. Put on the adult moderation there, because you're gonna be in for some surprises, gang. But yeah, the shoulders just feel off. They're just too beefy. So I think maybe somewhere in between. I'm gonna just lessen that contrast just a touch. The belly of the muscle. Ease it back. Yeah, it already feels better to me. Just flattening it down. I'm probably wrong. Never ever believe anything I say. I will always lie to you. Okay. Leave that alone. We lost our electric nipples. Those got to come back. There we go. Because why not? What? It's cyberpunk. It all makes sense. Oh shit, are you guys still on about Twizzlers? Holy shit. Yeah, Twizzlers are nasty. Red vines? No! Any red wax it's just wax lips in string format. Don't eat that shit. Pete, no! You turncoat! No red vines! You know what's great is, so like in New Zealand, they sell bulk these licorice all sorts, and I love them because they're basically like, they're the perfect mix of grandma candy and black licorice. They're so good. Candle eating days. Red vines. No. Oh my god. They do come in tubs. That's right. I forgot about those. Those big, you're talking about those big pot cylinders. It almost looks like a jack-o'-lantern. I did definitely use red vines as straws for sodas, but it wasn't root beer. It was Dr. Pepper for me, which I think paired much better with red vines. We're gonna keep the thicker neck, I think. Get those sternocleidomastoids. Such a hard muscle to say. If you've been watching for a while, you'll remember that I've talked about learning traditional anatomy, because the traditional anatomy basically gives you GPS coordinates for everything. Just knowing the names of stuff tells you where it goes. Usually it'll give you at least like a position on the body and a rough idea of what it does. So it all works together in your head. But man, some of the words, this one is just the hardest. But it tells you everything. Sterno, Clydo, and then mastoid. All there. Yeah, I think the chest works much better. Well, it's not better. I liked the skinny one, but it works. We've made it work. Finally, it took some tears and some struggle. There was some crying. Are wax lips keto? Definitely not. I'm pretty sure wax is high in carbs. I don't know. Dr. Pepper. I'm an elitist with Dr. Pepper. Pineapple Fanta, greatest of all times? Nuh-uh. I ain't buying that. Fanta's a Nazi soda. Look that one up. Let's see. Okay, I kind of want to get back into using the body for painting on. So instead of just compressing everything yet, I'll just make a new layer and clip to the entirety of that folder or the group, which I think it should be okay. And let's get some value crunches going here. Let's get a little bit darker. We're going to unify our cyberpunk chunky bits. I'm just digging out accent values, and then we'll have to come back in and actually define these better because they're quite nonsensical right now. Not to say that anything cyberpunk really makes any sense at all. It is kind of, that's the style, is just a sort of techno absurdism. But I think it's always a good idea to approach it with a little bit of logic, just a little touch, a little taste. Oh, big meat. I have such sights to show you. Check that stuff out. And remember also that Fanta is part of the Coca-Cola Corporation. Ooh, what's going on here? Oh, I see. I did some paint. I did some painting. Remember I was talking yesterday about using the background color and then sort of squishing edges around, and how I don't normally do that? That's why, right there. I accidentally, I have background painted into the group, so I'm going to select the group, or select everything in the group, and you'll see with this selection, yeah, see all of these parts that are not on the robot body? All of that is painted in background stuff. So I can't even really clip using a clipping mask with this. I done screwed myself here. I did it bad. Speaking of chunky bits, Tom Alam sends his best regards. Is Tom over there? That's awesome. Am I using a mouse to do this? No. I am using a Wacom tablet. I'll show you real quick here. Looks like this. This is an Intuos, I believe an Intuos 4. No, this is an Intuos Pro, the small size. There are basically two primary input. There's food on this. This is disgusting. You've seen how disgusting I am. I'm a gross pig creature. No, so there's two inputs usually for artists. There's the Intuos pads or Intuos like slates, and then there are the Cintiq monitors. I prefer the slates. That's just me. Personal preference. Oh! somebody just rated Ethan, welcome, and Ethan's friends. Thanks for joining us. We are painting glowing nipples. Sorry. Hey, Pete. Take it easy, bud. It was good having you on, brother. Enjoy the salt mines. Yeah, stop in anytime. It'll be great. Oh, that's awesome, Ethan. I, too, am a cyberpunk fiend. And I am sort of working out my excitement for the upcoming game. Fingers crossed we got an actual release on time. I am a huge Project Red fan. I stan those fellas pretty hard. They're great. I have often contemplated joining their team. I don't know if I am Northman enough for it, though. Thanks for the follow, brother. Thank you. Cryo, thank you for the follow. This is awesome. Glowing nipples, your favorite? Foul sham? I'm inclined to agree with you. Especially when they're slightly puffy. Come on. Come on. No, no. This is a children's channel. We can't do that. We don't allow that kind of filth here. I just call the mods on myself. That's what I do. Because I want them to catch me. I am generally pretty bad with tech, and I think it shows here. But I like to get, I like simple shapes rather than the really complex stuff. There's something, I guess maybe it's probably, you would consider it more of a steampunky thing. But it's really just my inadequacies with technology design. There's just artists that are way better at that stuff than I am. Catch me up. What are we seeing here? Hoping that if there were any delays, they'd already have announced them. Well, they've announced a couple already, didn't they? I mean, wasn't it supposed to come out? Was it? It was this year, but earlier this year, right? I don't know. I can't remember anymore. This is the year of madness. Cryo pasties? Pasties? Pasties. Pasties are foods, but pasties are foods too. Oh shit. Oh no. Just aim for a shape at a time. Yeah, that's probably the way to do this and not have a panic attack. But panic attacks are kind of funny when I do them because there's a lot of squealing. Like a piggy, a stuck piggy. I'm certainly not worried about matching these things on either side. I know that it's going to be all about that connective tissue. It's always the connective tissue when it comes to introducing weird elements. No matter how you slice it, it always comes back to food with the nipple. You got me there. Damn. Damn. There's just wisdom online today. Just wisdom, and I love it. I'm all in for the wisdom. Just making sense, gang. You're just making sense. Okay, we can't really stick with the clipping mask because, as I mentioned, the clipping mask is the mask to be clipped is totally broken. So we're just gonna lean into that. I done fucked up, gang. I done fucked up. You're afraid of mecha for a long time, and you had an epiphany, and now it's mostly all you do? Seriously? Well, damn, share. What's the epiphany? Was it just taking a shape at a time? Because that did not work for me. Explain! The arm backpack is key, especially when you ain't got no arms. You need a backpack with some arms on them. I mean, probably a Doc Ock setup makes more sense, but this is fun. We're just having fun in here. Painting some happy little nipples. Nope, 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 not there. Sort of more here. What do we got here? Ah, Jedi, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. Welcome. It's a little more than a shape at a time. We are a patient crowd. Take your time. Make it as succinct as you need. Ooh, 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 ooh. There we go. I think kind of these, I don't know, blast panels or something can kind of mimic the scapula on the shoulder. Kind of like that idea. It's pretty cool. I don't know, these are dumb. I want to actually accent the scapula idea even more. What was that? What just happened? My pen is possessed. Yeah, that's better. I like that. I don't know what's going on, but I like it. One of them is the idea behind the greebles. Yeah, greebles. Mm-hmm. Where you push and pull portions of a plane to create visual interest. Yeah, that makes sense. Good to get that perspective down. I think it helps if you have like a really good visual vocabulary of greebles to begin with. And the more you pull from, you know, sort of study and reality, you know, looking at jets and tanks and things like that, make it much easier to come up with robotic greebles. Yeah, I definitely agree. That's a good way to tackle. I need further horizontalness. Copy, paste. I am cheating the ellipse because bad at perspective. See, that's why I like painting monsters. Monsters don't have perspective. There's no perspective with monsters. There's perspective with monsters. But, you know, it feels like there's not, which is nice to pretend. It's the little stories we tell ourselves to get through each terrible day. And as Ethan says, with the greebles, we can add little details, carve up the forms. Let's grab. Eesh. Let's make this a little bit less. I think I overdid the perspective a little bit. Let's bring it back. These things happen. No biggie. I don't know. Make some shapes. Boosh. Some big shapy nonsense. And if it's blocking a light source, you're gonna get rid of that light source on the object that's being blocked. There you go. A little something going on there. The biggest one is you can't draw something wrong if nobody knows what it's supposed to be. I like that philosophy. Nobody knows that you meant to make something a perfect box shape. If it's not how you intended, just roll with it. You know? I'm gonna keep that one. That's a keeper. Lazy. Hello. How you doing, my friend? Welcome back. I imagine it's quite late there again. Nobody knows if it's nonsense or if it's intended. As long as you've got quasi-reasonable joints in the arms, nobody questions it. I have found that to be generally true, yes. I think what's interesting when people kind of pick their specializations is they find the things that they can get away with, like, you know, I don't need to prove this. I got reasonable enough details and visual vocabulary, and then they just lean into that, and then they decide that the other thing is hard. Like environments, I just don't have the visual vocabulary to really bullshit my way through it. And that's a huge part of what this is. It's just some artful bullshitting. Avid, welcome. Good to see you on. Yeah, hard pass on the environments. I still have to do them all the time, especially with the magic card stuff, but it is a constant struggle for me, I'll be honest. I just do not enjoy them. Which is rough. A lot of my patrons ask me to do more lessons on environment stuff because, I mean, we all have our weaknesses there. Especially in illustration. But, there's not a lot that I can teach. If I'm not great in it, I don't feel comfortable kind of bullshitting my students. I can give you the lowdown, give you the basics. But, yeah, I don't have it down. Just let me paint my ridiculous teeth monsters with their foreskin heads, and I'm happy. Yeah, you're imagining that now, aren't you? You're welcome. How we doing on time? Gotta double check. As I mentioned when we started, I gotta do a shorter day today. I don't know if we'll finish this guy. It's just kind of fun, like I said, a little goofy experiment. We might go back to some of the other cyberpunk sketches that we did and see if we can take any of those further along. But I'm kind of painting purposelessly at the moment, and yeah, usually when I do that, it's this meandering mess. I much prefer to have kind of especially if I'm painting something for myself, I want to be drawn by the muse, you know. I usually find those paintings more entertaining as well to watch and to into view. You can see when there's a bit of pleasure in it, I think. I am definitely getting some artifacting from my graphics card right now. And I really, really hope we'll make it through the session without a crash. Knock on wood. Things were so good there for a little while. They were so good. And now it's not holding up. Gonna have to get a replacement. Good timing though. You worked on a drawing today for about 5 hours, ended up super underwhelming. Hey, lazy. Happens to all of us, man. Happens to me a lot. I would not feel bad about it. The important thing is you drew, you put in some time. Just take what you learned and start on the next one. I have a pretty good system for myself that I use to try to gauge on whether or not I'm wasting my time on a painting or on a drawing when I'm doing something for myself, and that is absolutely my the qualitative entertainment value I'm getting out of it. So if I'm giggling and having a good time painting that thing, I know that it's going to be worthwhile to finish it. If it's not tickling my funny bone in some way, or any bone for that matter, I'm not in. I just lose interest real fast. And unfortunately, my boy here, he's not doing it for me anymore. I'm gonna have to give him a Dear John, I reckon. But let's see if we can give him a focal point at the very least. So what we'll do is we're gonna do kind of like an illustrator's cop-out. I'm gonna work on a focal point and then add in a bunch of speculars to kind of imply that it's more rendered than it is, and then we're shutting him down. So I'd say the focal point, if we're gonna pick a focal point, we'll go like this. I'd say it's probably gonna be like this area. So that means that's gonna be where all of our rendering is as we finish him out. Finish. Yep, artifacting. This is bad. It's happening. All right, come on now. The best way to learn is to teach. 100%. I'm glad you liked the Beholder, Ethan. That was a fun one. I did giggle making that one. Ever dismissive idea of the muse. Yep. You like the pen mechs? Ah, cheers. I like the pen dinosaurs with nipples. There's something hilarious about fat dinosaurs because we've never seen them. Those made me laugh. Made me laugh a lot. Draw pretty good. Oh, thanks. I'll give it a shot doing this for a living. Someday. No, I'm consistently amazed that I get to do this for a living. It's so great. F in chat for our double amputee. Aw, damn. Warlock. Hey! Oh, hey, good to see you on, man. Yeah, I have been streaming for a few months now. I'm still super new. I'm not nearly as established. You know, it's just keeping me off the streets, you know? Idle hands. I really dig it though. It's been crazy fun. I like the community aspect a lot. Hanging out, doing silly stuff. Sort of roundabout nonsense teaching. Again, never believe anything I tell you. I can't be trusted. Gonna lurk for a bit, Ethan? That's completely fine. Hey man, thank you so much for popping in and for chatting for a bit. That was really great. That was the treasure of the day. So because I've chosen that to be my focal point, I'm going to definitely define this face much, much more. We're going to spend some time in here. We're just going to just polish the shit out of it. Ended up ordering a fuck ton of cupcakes. That's awesome. Oh, cupcakes. So I'm definitely leaning towards kind of that rough boy, kind of Southeast Asian, maybe Filipino. I love, love, love trying to paint different different physiologies. It's so fun. Such a great challenge. And I like to do it, I especially like to do it in places where it's unexpected. So I've been doing it a lot in Magic. That's been kind of like my calling card for a while now, is to paint different looking people. So one of the things that helps me with that is I like to people watch, study. If you're careful and you're paying attention, you'll see in my paintings, actors or little hints of different actors or people I know. Because it's those little details. They're basically they're greebles, but for humans, and those give you visual variety enough that you can create new characters whole cloth, which is awesome. Any tips with getting away with brushy look on non-focal points with illustrations? You mean just like the brushy looks out here? I would say just don't worry about them. The big thing to remember when you're using brushy stuff that's outside of your focal point is that if that brushy stuff has a very sharp edges or very, very strong detailing in it, like a lot of texture, it can potentially create enough contrast that it's going to draw your eye away from your focal point. David, thank you very much for the follow. I appreciate that. Welcome. So when you're using those brushes, either keep in mind that you need to be very, very subtle with the value shifts and color shifts as you make your new strokes on the outside. So I would argue that these textures out here are fairly, they're not drawing the eye so much because they're living very closely in the same area of the value gamut. The other thing is you can smudge them, soften the edges, and you can see places where I've done that too. You can use brushes that don't have a really strong texture to them to do the same effect. So this has a really strong, deep, sharp texture. This one doesn't. This brush is really soft. When it comes to doing brushy digital work, I love looking at artists like Simon. Simon Stollenhag. With his work, he's able to do something that has a really strong canvas texture on it, but also very much control your eye. And he does this not by changing the texture. The texture is almost the same in every brush he uses. But what he does is he controls his value. He controls his value movement along that gamut so carefully that he can create blur effects with a sharp-edged brush, and it's amazing to see. You're just the guy from DA. Last time you heard about me, I was sailing. Oh yeah, dude. Sailing was great. Had a good time. Nearly died a couple times. Almost sank. It was awesome. It was really a fun adventure. I still have the boat. It is in Mexico. I am not in Mexico currently. So, yeah. As of right now, I'm a landlubber, and I live in the Pacific Northwest, and I'm digging it because now I have internet. And man, I could not stream before. I couldn't do any of this stuff. So it's been so great to kind of expand and reconnect. They've even been posting on DeviantArt again, of all places. It's been a long time. I was an early adopter. I was there back in the olden days. Shit, I was on Elfwood, gang. That's how old I am. I'm Grandpa Elfwood. ca.org. Oh yeah. I'm highly amused that there's a lot of kids, they're adults, but people working in my industry that don't, they were never on any of those sites. I survived the deep blue. I did. I made it. I was not eaten by sharks. As many times as they've tried. I witnessed dolphin orgies. It was awesome. You love Tyler Jacobson's? Oh yeah. Great stuff. Very tight in the focal point and then fades into big brushy shapes. Yeah. It's going to be about value control and softening those edges in different ways. Happy to help with the answer. Yeah, you were on Elfwood? Oh my god. That's amazing. Yeah, Elfwood was crazy. Elfwood was like the hot shit back in the day. That was like pre-MySpace. That was Friendster years. Kinda, I'm thinking beyond glowing nipples and eyes, we need some more metal on this guy. Where can we get some metal? I'm thinking, ooh, could do a skull. We could do a Kano plate. Nah, that's lame. Let's do maybe a spine augmentation. Maybe his neck, throat. I'm thinking in order to have this back plate, he would have to have reinforcements on his rib cage, spine, legs. We can just dig in there and just make some shapes. Let's get shapey with it. So if we're going to cut into this neck, I want to do, let's see. Even though I have totally done it, I'm not a big fan of just like doing these striations, that like the Image Comics kind of cybernetics. But at the same time, don't freak out. Stick with me, graphics card. Hold on. You can make it. I don't necessarily like doing full robotics either. So it's because I'm lazy. That's why. I'm just very lazy. But somewhere in the middle. We can meet in the middle. We can all be lovers, not fighters. Just kind of thinking about the biology, where the reinforcement on the actual underlying skeleton would need to be. Trying to have a little tiny bit of logic there. And the sternum is quite a weak point. This is a very soft area. Let's see. You're all metal and available. Nice. What graphics card am I running, Lazy? It is a GeForce RTX 2080 Ti, the Black Edition. It is a refurb, unfortunately, and I have a feeling that it's not been healed up properly. So that's not good. It's very upsetting because these things, even a refurb, is damn expensive. So I'm gonna have to get in contact with NVIDIA and get this thing sussed out because it's a hot mess right now. Everything else seems to be running all right, but that's the problem. Is sometimes it's really hard to diagnose things. And I've gone through. I thought I had it figured out, and it's starting to act up again. You know, I only have one thing that just really pisses me off, and it's when shit doesn't work the way it's supposed to work. And it just... Ooh. Get all mad. Get all red-faced and sweaty. Gotta get undressed and just sitting there in your underwear with screwdrivers going, God damn it. What, nobody else does that? Don't judge me. I just assume everybody else does that. Right? That was you in bed. Nothing is working. They got pills for that, but it's okay. It's totally normal these days. Okay, let's switch brush out. I want something spicy. Let's get spicy here. Wachow. Remember what I was talking about with bullshit speculators? Well, here we are. Broken. The bluest of pills. And now let's see. Might be overdoing it on this one. Let's make this, instead of segmented, let's go with something a little bit more plate-like. Oh yeah, tubular bells, man. I love this song because it's like, it's half Halloween, half Christmas, all in one. Of course, you guys are not listening to the same music as me because we'd be kicked right off the air. But if you don't know that song, you should look it up. It's great. Except for the breakdown. The breakdown's weird as hell. No, I am not listening to the same music you are. The music that I have playing through the scene that you're observing right now is royalty-free music. This is so that, one, I can actually show on Twitch, but also so that I can have these videos on YouTube later for my archive. Royalty free means that there's not a license holder. It's public. Usually because there's a super awesome, generous artist out there that shared their work. The one that I use the most is a fella named Kevin MacLeod. And his site is Incompetech, which I think is a terrible name. It sounds like incompetent, which is just a weird thing to name yourself. But that said, the guy is a composer and a producer and makes awesome songs that are pretty damn fresh. And he's constantly updating it. And most of that stuff is royalty free for small studio people. You know, little backwater projects like mine. He's so generous. It's awesome. So if you ever end up doing something like this and you make it big, definitely hire that guy. I know I will. Shit. Are we still broadcasting? Yep. Okay. I'm basically getting these like random sort of like hot pink lines that are just cutting through the screen. It's better than the other error I get, which looks like Space Invaders. It's bad. It's pretty bad. None of this is in perspective, which makes me sad, but we can fix that because it's on a different layer. Need to Tony Stark this up a little bit and just dig it into the flesh. My music died! Not cool. Super not cool. Music is life, gang. Okay, back to it. Thug, welcome. Glad you could join, bud. How you doing? Doing good. Ah, thanks for the sub, bud. Appreciate the support. It means the world. You doing good? Busy but good. That's awesome. Just mostly work? We haven't seen you on game for a long time, man. I just saw today that they dropped the Halloween content for Warzone. I think it's live. I'm not sure. Maybe it was just for the pros, but it looks fun. There's zombies now. Because, you know, zombies. You're crunching. Oh no. Well, that's exciting. I did see some news today. Was it today or yesterday about Ragnarok? I'm pretty excited to see what's coming from the studio. I don't know. I don't know if you're crunching on that one in particular. If Zombies is good, you might play it. I mean, I heard that the last what was it, the Black Ops Battle Royale had zombies or something. So, and apparently it was successful. Yeah, I'll let you know, Avin. You gonna be on tonight? All right. We've had a couple of wins as of late. Some lucky rounds. November 12th. Is November 12th gold? Or is that actually launch? Oh, console. Nice. Fist of Stone, thank you for the follow. Welcome. Appreciate that. Yeah, there we go. There's some Greeble time, as Ethan mentioned. I think that's pretty good philosophy that he outlined. Okay, so we'll leave that and not get too deep into it. Now it's about connective tissue. I want to get a couple of dark spots that imply the depth of the implants. Get just a couple of highlights on, and then just leave it the hell alone. I'm not here to noodle this shit. Okay, that's good enough. God damn it, this fucking card, man. I can see. Look, it's so weird. I don't see it on the. I don't see this stuff on the feed for you guys, so that's good. At least that's not causing you problems. I'm gonna have to get back on the phone with NVIDIA. Work this crap out. Oh no. Okay. Do one more pop of highlights. Nothing on your end? That's good. You know, honestly, it's possible that it's not the card, but it's certainly the errors themselves tend to be stuff that, like a video card that's either failing or is having issues. They tend to look like that. I thought I solved it by by changing the power settings for the video card. And we were in the clear for a few weeks there. It was actually it was doing fine. I wasn't getting anything. And then today it started hiccuping again. I checked the power settings. They were what I set it to. I don't know. The problem is I know just enough about computers to completely destroy them and cause terrible problems for myself. So I try to keep that in mind and not dig around in the guts too much. I've updated all the drivers. I've done all that stuff. Just a nightmare. These are the things that I forgot about having to build your own PC. And every time I build a new PC, it's always that. Like, I had forgotten how much of a pain in the ass it is to make your own from scratch. All of the sweating in my underwear, cursing. Sorry, gang. We're all about the visuals here. It's all that storytelling. It's good for you. Gotta do push-ups for the imagination. In Sketching with Izzy. I don't want to zoom in too much. This is 100%, so we really that's way too much zoom in. If you're zoomed in more than the maximum pixel size, you don't want to. You're wasting time. Regret getting the 2080 as well. Really? You built your own and not a single issue in 2 years. Your 2080 is awesome. 2080 Ti are known to have issues, though. Is that what it is? Maybe that's what's going on. I actually still have my MSI gaming laptop that I used because I had to travel and I was living on the boat. I still have it, but the battery's dead. I have to replace it. I have the replacement. It's just... This is so much easier than digging around in that hunk of junk. Let me tell you though, having to depend on a single machine when you're doing work like this is such a pain. I had a terminal, like a really, really bad crash several years ago. I was doing it was splash art for Riot back then. And I was off the boat because there was some major boat repair happening. I had put it out. It's called putting it on the hard, which I know sounds much dirtier than it actually is. But all you're doing is you're pulling the boat out of the water and then putting it up on the on a tarmac, and then they do work on it. So they scraped all of the paint and everything off of the bottom, and then they redid the bottom paint. But in so doing, we also had to remove all this stuff and change some hardware, and it was a total nightmare. It ended up taking like 2-3 weeks that I wasn't on my boat, and I stayed in a hotel, and it was horrible. It was horrible, horrible, horrible. I got super sick. My laptop died, and it was... I had unknowingly, again, remember I told you that I know just enough about computers to completely fuck everything up when I take matters into my own hands. And what I had done is I had made a RAID 0 drive out of all of the different drives on my machine, not realizing that that's the most unstable version of RAID possible. And I was operating off of that, and one of the drives crashed, and I lost everything, including my Riot painting. So that was a nightmare. Also that week, so this was, 4 years ago, that week Trump was elected. So I was in that hotel at the same time. It was just it was a monster shit show that couple of weeks. It was November of 2016, yeah. Yeah, it was just all nutter butter. I hate these things. I mean, I like the idea of them, but they don't look very good how they're being done. Let's real quick replace them. I think maybe a shelf might be better. I don't know, let's see. Yeah, that's a little bit better. And then because they're just kind of a flat plane, we can kind of... Oops. Alright. I think that's enough for the neck bits. Let's add shadows and everything so that it's planted on the meat. I'm going to make... Actually, I'll just do it on this layer since there's not much on it. Have I tried Ghost of Tsushima Legends, the MP game? No, I actually saw briefly an ad for it on YouTube, I think. It looked really cool, but I haven't even picked up the main game yet. Everyone that I've talked to that's played it says it's amazing. So how is the MP? Does that hold up? The artwork, the gameplay, all of it looks super awesome. Really? Goddamn. I should just get that game. So cheap with games, it's funny. For a game developer, that's like the worst thing. Alright, we're just gonna apply some cast shadows. All this is meant to do is, I'm not going for extreme accuracy, I just want to kind of give them a space, plant them on the surface. So I need little dimples, little punch-ins, cast shadows. You're just sort of creating the bevel. This one will be deeper. It's like a reinforced torso. So hopefully you're seeing how by adding these tighter details and speculars, it's drawing your eye to the one spot. So remember our focal point. So as I build up, I can build up, render in this area, and then render up to the face and get all of that really tight. And you're not even going to really notice how unrefined everything else is, even though it's very unrefined. You think there need to be more cables? Cables from his nipples to his forehead. Well, no. No, I will not be obeying that as you are not the art director currently. So, take that. No cables. I mean, we could see what it looks like. Maybe it would just go like backwards. Okay, I kind of like it. God damn it. That taken? We'll do one. Just one. There. It's like his little battery pod. See, this is just upsetting everybody. Chat, are you upset by this? Let me know. Oh, I am a dumbass. Oh, Thug, you wish to name a layer. What will it be, sir? My goal is to give you all nightmares for Halloween. Oh, I'm sorry, Nox. You wanted to rename a layer. My bad. I just saw it immediately under Thug. Nox, what would you like to name the layer? I'm the boss, layer 64. Okay. I'm the captain now. There it is. Thank you very much for your purchase. It's pretty solid in there. I think we can trust it to stick. All right, we got to figure out where that nipple layer is at. That nipple layer is hiding somewhere. Oh, it's deep in the mix. Yep. Nightmares for children. Ta da ta 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 ta. Oop, too much. Whoa. Slow your road there. There it is. I am pixel painting. I realize that. That is bad. Don't pixel paint. Don't do what I'm doing. Yeesh. Yeah. Alright, let's go back to our top layer. Okay. Do the opposite dimpling. Yeah. Thug has redeemed name a layer. The nipple cable layer is now nippler cable layer. Alright. We can do that. That's nasty. When I consider cables inside his ribs, small part only visible. Masking, not for now, just as general curiosity. You mean like just putting in like cables like that? Like following the rib cage? Yeah, I mean, if I felt that it needed that busyness in it, but I try to keep my arbitrary decoration to a relative minimum so it doesn't feel like overwrought. I think that's just a stylistic thing. There are tons of examples of artists that do that and pull it off. I just think I don't do it very well. I try not to do more than is necessary to just say the thing I'm trying to say. I lean heavily on implication and indication. All right, so I think that's good enough for that part of the focal point. We can, on another layer, just refine the flesh just a touch by giving it a little bit more of a value pop, just a touch. Let's go a little desaturated and a little yellow. Some mammary gland varicose veins heading to the nipple could be good too. Rib bars would be interesting. Water cooling tubes, all right. Lazy, you've not done any work? Oh shit. You better get to painting with us over here. Brighten it up just a touch. There we go. Okay. Good enough. Again, we're just kind of populating detail. That's it. You haven't done any... Oh, okay, you already said... I already read that. You redeemed another one. Oh, shit. Oh, you want to... Okay, alright. Alright. I don't know if I can do the register in there. Let's see, I'm going to try and copy. I'll be curious if Photoshop actually accounts for that. Holy shit, it does. Look at that. Got the little register guy in there. Nice. Well done. I did not know. Did you know that it would do that? I'm learning new stuff all the time with Photoshop. Even to this day. Let's see, where are we at? Hour and a half. Cool. I'd say we're gonna go for 2 today instead of the full 2 to 3. You put a TM and register all the time in layers. Really? Ah. See, and I'm not on a Mac. I can't do that. I don't even have... My keyboard is not near me, so... Ah, well. Alright, what was I doing? Oh, yes. More detail. You gotta get a sufficient amount of detail in the surrounding areas. God... Oh, Photoshop. So we don't need this to be super rendered, but you need to account for stuff. It can't feel just unfinished. If it's within a certain distance, you know, it's up to you to decide, but within a certain distance of your focal area that you choose. If the logo has one, it's like a crazy Alt XXX 3-digit code on the PC. We're not worried about supreme accuracy here. We just need to kind of fill in the dirty spots so it's not quite so unfinished. These feet are just a hot mess. No. Sana, hey, welcome. Glad to have you on. They changed it in Windows 10. It's not Control-Alt-R for... I'm not pressing Control-Alt nothing right now. I fell for that once before. Don't do that. Don't trust anybody, especially named Thug. Monster. Okay. You got enough of that on the pants. Pants are good. Looking at this is just a little bit too rough. Let's refine it just a touch. Same. Don't even know what's happening here. Don't care. Go away. No. Alright. Get to that face and completely distract the viewer with some detail. Oh yeah, baby. It's that. Oh, it's that now. I see. Alt plus F4 gives you superpowers and free money? I'll do it! Boo! Also, don't do that, anybody. You were watching the previous stream? Oh, with this same character? How was it? Did it record all right? I am, of course, pixel painting, but it's kind of tough. We're talking about this level of detail. I really should have just made this image bigger. There is a way around this. Let me introduce you to a fun little trick. So if you need to up-res something and you're in a fixed PPI, you copy that thing, paste it, like I just did. The layer didn't really add much, so I'm just going to merge it down one. Increase the size of that thing. And then clean it up at size and do your detailing here. And then when you introduce it and shrink it back down, you're going to end up with artifacting that'll make it look much more detailed than it is. So it's a silly cheat. It's not really something I would use for anything production value, but it is like if you need to do some quick editing on something, it's a good way to imply and add more detail than there is. Thanks, Nox. That's definitely that was the goal. I love cyberpunk. It's one of my favorite genres. Oh shit! I'm sorry to hear that, Sana. What's the time over there right now? Oh yeah, no. Thug is full on. This is an awful hack. I'm sure it's making his skin crawl seeing me do this. If I saw a student doing this, I would be mad. I'd be like, "What the hell are you doing?" But like all teachers, I'm a massive hypocrite. Right? But see how just by virtue of the fact that it is now larger and occupying more pixel space, I can zoom in without getting all pixelated and get a better set of detail. I'm also using a brush that allows me to be kind of scribbly and will give me more artifacting because it has a touch of texture. Oop, oop, oop. What'd I miss? Witchcraft and what the fuckery. Fair point. 4:25 a.m. Sana, get to bed. God damn. What are you doing up so late? That's crazy cakes. I can't judge. I do that all the time with video games. DPI is largely irrelevant with digital painting. Yes. DPI is. PPI is what I'm talking about. I did say PPI, didn't I? I thought I did. Nox wants to do a layer Thanos Boy 2077. Which layer will be Thanos Boy 2077? Oh my god. So it's even lazier, or even lazier. It's even later over there where Lazy's at. The head layer, Dirty Hacks. Now. See, that's rude. Nox, which layer did you want to rename? Any layer. Okay, sorry, gotcha. Okay, so the one I'm painting on, we will now call Thanos Boy 2077. Nice. Very nice. PPI and DPI are the same thing. I thought DPI had to do with printing. PPI was relative pixels per inch. I guess pixel count. Okay, I see what you're saying. You're talking about like the total resolution pixel count. Okay, yeah. No, that I get that. Ow! Ow! Just got bit by a spider gang. I'm definitely gonna die or develop superpowers. Probably death superpowers. Ow! That fucking hurt. Oh, bastard! Fast little guy. You had a deadline for an animation scene, so you're working late? Shit, man. Well, I'm glad you could join us. Sorry about the situation there. What does dirty hacks mean? It is a crunch of the word hacker, and just HAX sounds like hacks. That's all. So hacks are like when you do really shitty shortcuts, which is basically what I'm teaching you right now, is a very shitty shortcut. It is not the ideal way to do this. What you should do is up-res the whole painting, or start, even better yet, start with a proper pixel size. So, for example, this image size is, this is only not even 2,000 pixels for the vertical height by 3,000. It's because I had originally set this up to be a horizontal sketch with all of my different silhouettes next to each other. Let's see. Let's turn these off so you can see what I did last time. Oh, no, that's not it. So I had done these sketches, and it was just meant to be kind of a rough, small thing. And then I started painting. What I would normally have done is actually rotated this whole thing, so that it would read better, because it does not read well like this. The pixel information is not sufficient. Okay, so let's see what I miss. What kind of spider? I don't know. It was like a little. I don't know. It was a very little one. It was mildly radioactive. I don't know. You'd consider dying a superpower right now? Lazy, that is dark. I love it. We're clearly friends. You don't believe a spider just bit me and ran? What? Why would I shout in pain? You think I just ran over my own foot with a chair? Actually, I would probably totally do that. But no, I got bit by something. It's cool. You're actually excited about finishing that? Awesome. Total pixel count and image size is more important than PPI. Yeah, but ultimately what you're talking about, if you're including image size and pixel count, me and Thug love to argue. You can tell already. If you're talking about pixel count and image size combined, that's the same thing as PPI. That's image size is irrelevant. If you're wanting to hold your argument, which you would be correct, is resolution is the only thing that matters. Yes, I agree with you there. You're super stressed about the spider bite. Like you're gonna see some weird live stream shit go down. Honestly, I don't think so. It's not even swelling. It was just like a really sharp, stabby pain for a moment on one of my gimpy macaroni toes. Lose neurological function in 3, 2. Oh my god. And you guys would just laugh. I know it. The studio you're working with is actually doing cyberpunk and dystopian stories. What? That's awesome. You got to share with us when it's done. Yes, you are right in that. For once in your life, Thug, you are correct. It had to happen sometime. All right, so we're doing accent values, and we're gonna get away with a lot of bullshit by down-resing. You're gonna love this. Shots fired. Can you share it here? I mean, if it's done, I think only subscribers can post links. But if you wanna hint at it, give it a shot. Maybe I can bypass the thing. I don't know. A noise layer mixed with median layer of noise is a great way to hiding sins. Yeah, we can definitely add a noise layer at the end. I stopped doing that though. It's started to feel really dated to me, and I'm not sure if I'm accurate in that assessment. But for concept art, it definitely, like, to me, it feels like really mid or late 2000. You know, the late aughts. Grab this layer, warm it up. Not layer, sorry. Grab that color and then warm it up. Layer. Having the spider stroke. It's kicking in. Oh yeah, we are totally gonna get away with murder here. Maybe I should do more of this. I have not done this in a long, long time. Oh, it worked. Awesome. Yeah, over sharpening. Actually, the current thing that everybody's doing is chromatic aberration. Like it's the new hotness, I guess. Not even really that new, but yeah, people are doing a great deal of that. I can't wait to check it out. I will check it out later, for sure. Let's grab that value that I added to the chest, and that's going to be our accent light. And just by mixing that in there, it's going to make for more apparent detail. Watch me cheat. I'm cheating hard. I don't think they're the same. At least I hope not, because in my my short story Maggot, which takes place in Mumbai in the distant future, I have a character that speaks both Urdu and Hindi, and I may have made a terrible mistake. Okay, I'm getting increasing artifacting happening. I have a feeling we are going to be pretty doomed here shortly. I think I should probably count my blessings and shut this down quick before something catastrophic happens. Let me finish. I'm going to hold it together, machine. You can do this. You can do this. Maybe we should get the spider to bite the machine. Oops. Stay on target. Okay, what am I missing here? Sorry. They sound the same, but they're written with different... They're kind of the same? Oh, shit. They're written differently? Oh, I done fucked it up. I did. I messed up that backstory. These things happen. Do I make a save as I go error? What is that? Is that some feature I don't know about, or what? What's the story there? Inquiring minds, man. Come on. Spit it out. Oh, damn it. Oh, damn it. I pushed my luck. No, I actually have on my, I've covered it in one lesson, but on my Nostromo, I have a hotkey that I press almost after, I'd say, every 10th stroke. It's like a complete habit now. So no, it's very rare. But what does happen, and I found it tends to happen more with video card errors and things like that, is you'll end up with a file corruption. And that has happened to me numerous times in my career. I don't know if that's happened to you at all. It happened to me once on one of my early Wizards gigs. I had a painting for I think it was a cover for. Was it a cover or was it a? It was some big art. It was this scene with a white dragon in the background. It was like a snow scene, and I wanted the dragon to kind of like. It was meant to be. I think I called it Hunting Party, and it was this group that's like hunting a white dragon, and they don't realize it, but they're actually being hunted by the white dragon behind them. And that thing corrupted when I was about 80% through, and this was when I was first getting going. So, I mean, I was really slow then, really slow. I didn't know a lot of the stuff I know now. And, oh my God, I wept. I was so pissed off. And when it errored, what happened was, so the computer crashed. It was a blue screen. When I finally got everything working again, I went back to the file and I was like, oh my God, yay, there's a recovery of the file. I opened up the recovery, and the on multiple different layers, there had been scan lines that had like bright CMYK and green, not CMYK, sorry, RGB and crazy fucking CMYK colors were streaking across the whole thing. And I lost tons of work and had to repaint it from, I'd say like almost 30%. After that, it was miserable. Save snapshot when saving? Okay. A snapshot's like a JPEG version of the thing? Imagine that would be file handling. No? Save in background, automatically save recovery information every 10 minutes. So yeah, those are my recovered files that I get back. I don't know what you're talking about. Am I missing it? Do you guys see it? And I'm just super blind. Save whilst the file is open. It'll have a state of every save. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, Windows history. Oh, I see. Gotcha. Okay. And so, if I do this, will the snapshot, it will bloat the file itself, right? It's not saving a JPEG into the folder that this is saved in, right? I'm going to research that a little bit more, but that's good to know. Thanks for the heads up on that. That's a good tip for everybody. So open up your window, go to history, and in history look at the settings and history options, and you can provide yourself some protection with a snapshot. It's in the history panel. No, it's only active while the file is open. Oh, wait. Oh, I see. Okay, so this is, never mind. That's just a history image then. That's for the history brush. Okay, yeah, that is not the same thing. That's not what I'm looking for. Once again, you are wrong, sir. You are wrong. You have failed as an artist and a man. Yeah, those all have to do with the history brush, which is a fun tool, but I never use it. Just scribbling. I'm gonna get some sharp darks and lights. And I think that's probably good enough. Let's make a copy. Merge it. Turn that off. I'm gonna drag it back. Turn down the opacity a touch. And then transform it back to the size of our original. Cheating. I love to cheat. Close enough. Let us turn the opacity all the way back up. See the difference? So implied detail without detail. This is a really hacky way to do it, but it does work. I'm going to make another layer and just soften some of these now, because the artifacting gets a little squishy. Just a little bit. It's very useful if you make a mistake outside of your history, you can roll back-ish. I think it's probably a bit more valuable with graphic design than it would be for painting, but I don't know. I'll experiment with it and see if maybe it might be worth something to add to the pipeline. I'm just kind of softening this Terminator a little bit with the bounce light source or the alternate fill. Doesn't take too much, just a touch. Just a dab will do ya. Okay. Way on time. I'd say that's focal point enough that I kind of not noticing some of the other things. Now that said, I think this is generally sufficient for your for a character sketch. But if you are doing this for concept art, you're gonna have to, and it's meant to be a final piece. You got to take it to the distance, because somebody else down the line, your trickery isn't going to work on them, because they're going to need to make that thing. And if it is as ill-defined as this, and it's just some scribbles, they're going to be like, "What the hell is this? What is this supposed to be? What are the materials? What even is this? Why are you even?" And you're going to just make them mad. So this hack only kind of works on viewers that are not going to be doing anything with the artwork itself. All right, cool. Okay, yeah, voice chat sounds like a good idea. Maybe a dumb question, is this just to allow yourself to avoid working on a larger canvas? You mean working on this smaller size that I have been? No, Cypher, that is not what happened. What happened was I was too lazy to actually up-res when I started, and I really should have. I wasn't even thinking about it. This was a mistake on my part that I'm having to fix now. If you are making a piece of art that is meant to be painted at least the resolution that I'm painting right here, it should be much larger than this. I would say for the verticals on this, you would want it to be maybe another 1,000 pixels. So I would say 4,000 pixels on your shortest side is a good minimum for illustration. There are plenty of projects that I've worked on that are smaller, but most of those end up being printed smaller. So I don't have any here, but Magic cards, I do, this shortest side is less than 4,000, but only by a bit. It's like 3,500 or 3,400. And the reason for that is it's printed at like this size. It's like 2 inches at best. It's more like 1.5 inches, right? Like that, the little guy. So if you're going to be painting that for anything that needs to be zoomed in on a screen, or something that needs to be printed at high res, aim for much bigger pixels. The cool thing is that where we were talking, me and Thug, about resolution, if you have a high enough resolution, that's where PPI does matter. So and you can get to you can do much more like clean looking prints. But higher res is always going to be the best. Yeah, okay, there you go. So Thug works in massive files. But also a lot of the things that you do with graphic design will be vector. And vector can upsize without ever losing fidelity. So you got a match for that, I imagine. That's why you're doing your 14,000 pixels. Yeah, it's insane. I did, I had to help put together a painting for I think this may have been with you, Thug. We did a project we had to up-res a painting for E3, and it was going to be a big poster or something like that, and I had to help out with that. It was a nightmare, because I could only do it in pieces because the files were so huge. Yeah, vector's infinite resolution. Yeah. Anywho, yeah, like I said, I've been getting some pretty serious artifacting, so I'm not going to press my luck any further, but it was super awesome hanging out today. Hopefully you all had a good time, learned some fun new stuff. Yeah, so we will be back Thursday. That will be much earlier for those of you that tend to, that are watching from other parts of the globe. So that's 3 hours earlier than this one. So hopefully you can make it without being up super insanely late. It's from a DVD cover? Oh, I see. It's for both. That's insane. It makes no sense to work that size for a DVD cover. It's basically you're working at that size for the billboard, and incidentally, it can be printed on a DVD cover as well. You finally made it to the end of a stream. Thank you, Lazy, for hanging out. And I know it's super late over there. That's awesome. Cheers. Cheers, Cypher. Awesome, gang. Cool. All right. Like I said, Thursday we will be popping back in. I am currently, I think I announced last Thursday that I am shutting down the monthly lessons that I'm doing on Patreon. That's a temporary shutdown. The Patreon is going to continue going if that's of interest to you at all. But where I'm going to be taking the Patreon in the future is into doing live crits here on Twitch. And what that means is that I will be adding or altering one of these sessions that we do now to a earlier time in the day so that I can do crits for people on other sides of the planet. There's only one other side. Is there? Wait, what? It's all flat. It's flat. We know that. It's a fact. So if you're on the other side of the flat planet, if you're on the other side of the plane, you will be able to catch up. We can hang out, and if you're interested, get crits on your artwork. I will be announcing all that stuff as I figure it out, but right now there's just too much other stuff going on. But I will keep you posted and let you know. But until then, as always, paint smart, paint sexy. I'm Izzy, a professional writer, concept artist, and illustrator. I've taught painting for a dozen years or so, on and offline. Many of your favorite illustrators and designers have studied with me or under me and have gone on to teach in their own right. You're here because, like they did, you want to learn to paint realistically for illustration or concept art. Well, worry not. You're in the right place. Grab a seat. I want you to join me as I explain all the aspects of image making in extremely digestible and clear monthly lessons. Not through the lens of silly how to paint hair or eye demos. That shit is carnival tricks. And you're not really learning anything except an exact way to render one thing in one manner. This is painting mysticism at its worst. Watching these kinds of exploitative lessons won't help you level up with your understanding. Sure, now you can paint sparkly hair, but what if you want to paint a dragon, or figure out how to render a sea of fire, or depict a one-eyed transgender space marine dying in the vacuum of space? Painting and image making are tools of communication, and can be learned by anyone willing to put in some time. Like grammar is for language, light, color, and form literally follow a formula. Painting well is not a matter of chicken bones, zombie crackers, and the ever-dismissive concept of talent. Learning with my series, Izzy's Logic of Light and Color, will give you the tools and understanding so you can analyze light and form in reality and bring it to life in your work. Using this simple system I have distilled will help you harness your art to share your ideas as you've always intended. When we are children, we all draw in symbols. Symbols for our house, our hands, the sun, the grass, our pet lobster. As we grow into artists, we must learn to throw away symbols and begin to draw and paint what it is we actually see. And as we grow further, we learn to paint beyond what we see and what is actually there. Until finally we move beyond this and learn to trim away what is actually there so we voice only what we want. With me, you're going to have to buckle in and maybe take some pain meds, because I'm going to rip out your normal person's eyes and replace them with a painter's eyes. I'm going to restructure how you see and how you understand what you're seeing. I'm going to turn you into a painting machine. Truly, anyone can learn to paint realistically if they can both determine what they're seeing or imagining with basic and straightforward rules. Once you understand the mechanics of light, color, and form in reality, you will have the capacity to paint anything you can see or imagine realistically. After that, the real fun begins. Here are some of the ways you can join me and master the logic of light and color. The very first lesson of my series is totally free on my YouTube channel. In that lesson, I give you the 3 primary rules of light that are the very foundation of painting and understanding light itself. If you do nothing else to make your painting mastery easier, at least watch this amazing little lesson. It will do more for your basic understanding of light than just about any tutorial you can find. When you're ready to get deeper and you feel like you have those first rules figured out, allow me to utterly blow your mind with the next episodes available on Gumroad and ArtStation. As we go deeper into the rules underlying the logic of light and color, I carefully and simply explain important and interesting elements. From beginner to pro, there is an amazing amount of information available. Each concept has been distilled into the clearest explanation you're likely to find anywhere. Like episode 2, where we cover the atmospheric effect and how that relates to light, scale, and distance of objects in reality, and how to render it. Or episode 3, where I hand over the ultimate key to controlling value in your paintings. Episodes 5 through 8 are all about rendering materials. Want to understand the logic behind rendering metal, leather, hair, transparency, damn near anything. I even cover the logic behind painting special effects like fire, neon, or lightsabers in later episodes. The lessons just get deeper and more detailed as I build on the foundations covered in preceding episodes. The 10th gives you the most important rule of composition you'll ever learn to keep your images interesting. The next few episodes cover important painting techniques like my edge control ninjutsu or simplification with the large to small system. We dip a toe in color theory, devote a few episodes to finishing full-blown illustrations utilizing the techniques we've learned so far. Some episodes, like the lighting game or Advanced Exercises 1, the shirt, present cheap, valuable, and practical exercises to give you explosive growth in your development. Episodes 22 through 25 cover painting and illustration, just like I do for Magic the Gathering, from assignment and inception to signing the painting at the end. Each one is full of tips, knowledge, everything to make working as an illustrator easier. Did you enjoy learning how to paint basic materials? Metal, wood, and such? I got 3 whole episodes devoted to the intricate logic behind painting different kinds of skin. After that, more lessons devoted to pumping life into your portraits and original methods for accurately drawing faces out of your head. From fundamentals to photo bashing, Gumroad and ArtStation have every lesson I create available for purchase a la carte. But here's an even better way to learn with me. Stay current with my latest lessons on Patreon for the lowest price available. Monthly support gets my student that month's lesson, a critique or paint over of their finished work, a discount code for 25% off the entire Gumroad archive, and access to the Logic of Light and Color Discord community, where we plan future lessons, share knowledge, and learn together as a team. The absolute best method is to join my Patreon classroom at the Student Plus tier, where you'll get everything I just mentioned and a free episode from the archive every month to accelerate your mastery at your own pace. You've decided to take control of your painting and master Izzy's logic of light and color. Now it's up to you to choose the path that's best for you. I'll see you on the flip side. Paint smart, paint sexy.
Okay.